We want to keep you updated on the crisis in Sudan. There was essentially a revolution 2 months ago. Sudanese people coming out in droves demanding President Omar al-Bashir step down after a very repressive 30-year rule. The military responded and they ousted him and put him in jail. Now, a reminder, al-Bashir was in power during the genocide in Darfur and continued to rule after hundreds of thousands of people were slaughtered. So he's gone, and now the people want an election and a transition to civilian rule. They want democracy, except now the military has taken control and they're acting like the dictator the people just overthrew, and the military won't relinquish their power. So more protests came, civil disobedience, bringing all businesses across the country to a halt. And the military response, more violence, a massacre of over 100 people who died. And according to local doctors, close to 100 women were raped. So I want to bring in Cameron Hume. He's a former ambassador to Algeria, South Africa, and Indonesia, and former top diplomat to Sudan. Cameron, first, thanks for joining us so much today. I think many times people feel like since this crisis is happening far away in a different country that it doesn't affect them, or it's not something that we should be paying attention to. But in your opinion, what should people know and stay focused on?
Well, I think what they should know is that, as you pointed out, this government has been involved in a number of problems over the last 30 years. And in particular, I'd look at two things. One is terrorism questions. We've long had a terrorism disputes with Sudan and a terrorism dialogue and terrorism cooperation, and that's been our main policy point. And the other is Darfur. I served there while the Darfur crisis was on, and we got it to end. But the people who were involved in the violence in Darfur are still in the government. It wasn't just Omar al-Bashir. It was other people, and actually I think some of them have acquired more power since then. So I would worry about the potential for a lot more violence than what you saw recently.
And we've seen this many times where militaries take over after a coup and things don't go well. Why is it so hard for the military to relinquish power when they agreed to oust the president? The protest happened, they kicked him out, and now they won't give the power up.
Well, it wasn't just a one-man rule. These people ruled with Bashir, and they looked at it's like a ship, and they saw the ship was going to a bad place, so they threw the captain overboard. But the same people have their hands on the tiller. And in particular, the force which has come to the fore, this RSF, that is commanded by a person who was in charge of many of the operations in Darfur. And so it's not as if Bashir was gone and everybody now is sweetness and light.
Exactly, yes. So I just want to get your opinion on if you think that this will turn into something, anything will change, because an envoy was sent over. Do you think that that's been successful so far?
Yeah, I think it's a good step that we've re-engaged after not paying enough attention. That's good. However, I think that coming out of that and saying we want a full investigation, that's a good thing. But that's not going to help the people who are in Khartoum and in the streets next week. The government there is heavily supported by Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and also to some extent Egypt. These are countries we have close relations with, and there is no convincing evidence that we have opened a senior level dialogue that would really get the attention of the rulers in Saudi Arabia and UAE, who support this, not only the government, but they support this rapid support force by hiring them to fight in Yemen. So there's a big international connection there, and while the visit of the Assistant Secretary to Khartoum was a good step forward, I think we have to take steps with the people who are actually supporting the government.
All right, Cameron Hume in our D.C. Bureau, thank you so much, and we'll continue to keep everyone updated as this develops. Thank you for joining us.
Good, thanks.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.